established and well-respected teams in Formula One history, now known as Stake F1 Team. This isn't your granddad's Formula One team. Here, they do things differently. So as you enjoy the food and the drink and formulate your opinions, I hear Lawrence is in the room. This is going to be flashier than your shoes. Chris, I'm sure that everybody cannot wait to hear your opinions on Twitter. But try to take a moment to understand what's really happening here. Because this is about opportunity. It's about movement. This is about the future. The Stake F1 team is not trying to get your attention, because quite frankly, they already have it. This moment is about showing you what they're all about. The sexiest partners in the F1 paddock have a hot new car, the C44. Now tonight, you'll not only get to see it for the first time, but tonight also marks the beginning of something much bigger than that. Tonight, the Stake F1 team unleashes a new brand, one that is fierce, one that is passionate, and full of sizzle. And once they're out of the box, there is no turning back. So things are about to change, so settle in as a giant stakes, their claim, in the greatest motorsport in the world. Here to help usher in this new era, please welcome the Stake F1 team. So, team representative, Alessandro Aluni-Bravi.
Welcome, everyone.
And of course, your 2024 drivers for Stake F1, Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu. Welcome, everyone. How are you guys doing tonight?
But this is an exciting night for all of us. The new C44 in this special location, I think, is the new era that starts, and we are excited to start the journey together with all of you.
Now, this transition to becoming the new Stake F1 team is all about adopting an attack mentality. So the word unleashed is something that we keep hearing. It's what we're talking about. What exactly does that mean, Alessandro?
You know, unleashed is not just a word. Unleashed is a mantra that incorporates our brand essence. We want to be innovative. We want to be fresh. And this is about culture in our team, to instill the right mentality, to become a stronger team. But of course, we want to be creative, innovative. We want to have this ingenuity approach that is very important. This is something that will be, of course, translated in all our activities, starting from tonight.
Now, the change is something that we've been teased with over the last couple of weeks. We're about to see more about it tonight, but I'd love to know, this change, how does it permeate from the top to the bottom of the team?
It's a pervasive change, of course, that will pervade every area of our team. We have a new team identity, meaning a new way to communicate, to present ourselves, to speak to our partners, to speak to our fans, and to the entire F1 community. But it's also the way we see our team in the future. We want not to be an underdog in F1. We want to compete, and this determination is shown today.
Fantastic. Well, coming to you, drivers, Valtteri, to you first. Flashy new hairstyle. It's going to be flashy new colors for this team. Thank you, first of all, for getting dressed for this event, because we know, the internet has seen a lot of you. Do you think you'll be faster in green?
Absolutely. We'll be so much faster in green. I mean, like Alessandro said, it's really exciting new era for the team, and really can't wait to obviously get to reveal the car, but then eventually get behind the wheel. It's exciting.
Well, it's no secret that last year was a challenging one for the team and for yourself as well. How would you say this downtime and this reset period has really prepared you for what's ahead this year?
It was a hard season last year, and we all want more than that. And what I've seen so far at the factory, the motivation, the spirit ahead of all these new things, looks good, and that makes me also even more excited, for the year ahead. But quite a few changes here and there. You'll see also with the car. So I think we're definitely now on the right way.
Well, we're not long from seeing the car, but Zhou, I want to come to you first. Fashion is something that we know you take seriously. How is this new brand working for you then?
Yeah, firstly, good evening, everyone. But I don't have a lot of green collection on my wardrobe, so I'm going to have a bit more, not yet, a bit more merch this year for sure. But yeah, it's a new chapter, new identity for the team, so I'm really excited to taking on board in this journey. So it's going to be a good one.
Well, I think everybody is excited to see you take another step forward this season. So how have you equipped yourself to live up to those expectations, I guess?
You know, there's a lot of effort put into the previous 2 years. The first 2 seasons, I tried to learn as much as I could of, all the experience, knowledge is such a big thing in Formula One. And then last season has been a tough one, but we really learned a lot throughout this, let's say, tricky moment and set our target very clear ahead for where we want to reach this season. Yeah, so far it's been, getting into the information with the engineer group, going through all the data, making sure all the details is in exactly the right possible spot possible. And then, just can't wait to, let's say, put myself into extracted more potential out of me, more potential of the car, and hitting the results on track. So Bahrain is going to be so exciting.
Absolutely, not long to go until Bahrain. Alessandro, coming back to you, we know that last season the margins between teams was getting smaller and smaller as the year went by. So with no major rule changes this year, how do you plan to take this team forward with this new brand image?
Formula One is one of the most demanding environments on the world. So the challenge is big. Marginal gains can mean a lot. We have working hard during all the winter to improve every area. It's not just about the car, and you will see, and James Key will give you more insight, all the work that has been done to improve every single details of the car. But we have working hard to improve our race team operation, to improve our development time. Every area has been addressed, and we think that we have made a step, but as Joe said, we will see the result of our work only in Bahrain, because all the other teams have been working hard. But, we made our job, but we need to do our job each day, starting from Bahrain until the last race of the season.
Talking about this work, drivers, I want to come back to you. We have to acknowledge all the hard work that's going on back at Hinwil. How has it been working with your designers, engineers, and teammates back in Switzerland? Valtteri, you first.
In this sport, every year you become stronger as a team if you allow self-you to, and if you allow to learn from any mistakes or things that you can do better. Yeah. And I feel really like starting again this year with the team for third year in a row. I think we've become even more welded together. We understand each other's strengths and weaknesses. I think we've been able to make some good progress together with the engineering team, and you'll see with the car as well. It's definitely evolved a lot. So. It's really, like I mentioned earlier, it's a great spirit. It's good to be back, and now it's soon go time.
Fantastic, Joe. It's your third year with the team now. How has it been evolving?
It's been, let's say, a massive learning curve for me, because as a young driver arriving to Formula One, I don't understand how much drivers really have to input into this whole, let's say, team spirit sports. And then from year 1 to year 2, just the way how I'm communicating with my engineer on and off track, together also with my teammates, is being, let's say, just a gradually gain for me. And then people can set, let's say, more clear, straightforward target, which is such an important part in terms of development during the season, also, where you're heading for the future of the team.
Well, you mentioned the word spirit there. How would you say you would define the team spirit as we head into this new season?
It's been very high motivation, as we see, especially this year with this new identity, and this color is so bright, and for us, gives us, let's say, a new chapter opening. And then also, during last season, there's a lot of changes, having Andreas, James coming to the team. And then this year, they're going to be having their first full season working together with the Sauber group back in Hinwil. So I'm fully trusting this kind of project and where the team is heading to. So just going to give it my all.
Fantastic. Valtteri, any words on the spirit of the team?
Yeah, it's great. Spirit is good. Honestly, I think, after everyone had a little bit of time off, managed to process last year, everyone is ready for the fresh start, and it's not going to be down to the lack of spirit, I can tell you that.
Anything to add, Alessandro, to that?
But as you know, we have this group together with Valtteri and Joe from the last 2 years. We enter into a third season. We always value stability, and I think that each year we can learn and improve. And so the spirit this year, together with all our employees, is to do the next step. And I think we have all the people and the drivers to make this step happen.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, we'd love to talk to the Stake F1 team all night long, but this team is about more than just talk. They're about action, and a lot of it, from what I hear. Tonight, we're going to unleash the beast, the C44. the symbol of a new movement in Formula One, the machine that will help this team defy the odds this season and beyond. Welcome to a new chapter in the team's Formula One history, one that is truly unleashed.
How do you change the world? By changing inside and then showing the world what you got. It's time for a new movement. Tear down your walls and unleash yourself.
What do we think, everybody? You can make more noise than that. Come on. Alessandro, what are your thoughts?
For me, it's amazing. The colors, really aggressive, really distinguished. I think that this is a testament of intent of what we are, what we want to be. And I think that this car will be really, something different on track. We cannot wait to see racing, especially during night race. What do you think, Valtteri? Joe, do you like it?
Yeah, I do like it.
Thumbs up?
So,
Thumbs up? Big thumbs up?
yeah, very fresh in colorway. So,
Fantastic. Well, this team new era has officially begun. So what are the objectives for the team with this new car?
But we have clear targets. We want to improve. We want to deliver a better performance on track. But I think together with our partners, as a Stake F1 team, we want also to elevate the F1, the experience in F1 of our fans, of our partners. So there are ambitious targets both on the sporting side but also on the other areas. We want to deliver a better job. I think we have all the elements, and we want to establish a Stake F1 team is a real competitor, a real challenger into the F1 community.
Fantastic. Joe, this is going to be your vessel throughout the season. How do you think this new car and the new team identity is going to propel you to new heights?
I think every year you have to build a new relationship with your machinery, and you have to adapt a little bit, finding your confidence with either the weakness or the highs. And for me, I think firstly we have to wait for the car in Barcelona for the TV day, how it feels, get the first taste of it, and then Bahrain is where we're going to do all the little details of setup, balance work, and can't wait to get it all started this season.
Valtteri, what about you? When you hear about all the work that's gone into this car, and of course you've been an integral part of that, but now that you lay your eyes on it, how inspired are you to help this team take the step forward?
It's always really inspiring to, see the car for the for the first time and eventually then coming alive, and yeah, knowing how much work goes into the whole process from such a long time ago, from so many talented people, it's really inspiring, and for me it's going to be super motivating to, you know, try and make most out of it, you know, try and get good results and yeah, keep things up. So can't really wait to get on track.
Neither can we. Alessandro, we already talked a little bit about why this new partnership is so exciting, but what else makes this rebrand that exciting?
As you know, Formula One is an ultimate platform, and with Stake, with all our partners, we have international brands that are leading companies in their market sector. We have an exciting new chapter to start together. It's exciting to write this new chapter with different languages, to reach new targets and to use our tool to establish ourselves with this new team identity. The excitement is always there when you start a new journey, especially in Formula One. We have seen such a big growth during this season, so we cannot wait to start the season in Bahrain and to see where we will be.
Well, the new look of this car and the new version of this car is finished, but the journey for this team truly is just starting to begin. So when you think about Stake and its philosophy and how they challenge the status quo, how exactly does that manifest itself?
You know, Stake has challenged the status quo in all, you know, the activities they have done. And we want to challenge the status quo in Formula One together with them. I think that this partnership brings to Formula One a big added value. We will help Formula One as well to expand our fan base. We will help Formula One to adapt languages to the new audience that we are reaching together with the new venues we are going to race. So I think that this partnership, the Stake F1 team, will be for all the F1 community a really genuine and strong partner and stakeholder.
Fantastic. Drivers, any last thoughts out there on the catwalk?
Let's go racing.
Yeah, let's do
go.
it.
Fantastic. Thank you for joining me on the stage, gentlemen. Thank you. Well, I don't know about you, but I think you can truly feel the excitement in this room tonight as we gaze upon the chariot that will lead a rebellion in Formula One. To create this beautiful machine, the team shook every last nut and bolt out on the table and started over. Now it's time to find out what is beneath the surface. So let's take a deeper look at how the C44 came to be.
Our journey begins long before the wheels hit the tarmac. It starts with the design, the birthplace of greatness, where ideas ignite and dreams take shape. In production, perfection is etched into every fiber, every bolt, forging a masterpiece of its own. Then in the assembly room, a new car takes on its final form, each part carrying the indomitable spirit of each and every one of its creators, prepared for the fight ahead. This is not just a car, it's a manifestation of our collective will, a symbol of determination, resilience, and the relentless drive for greatness. This is our legacy, our journey. This is who we are, and we are ready to unleash it upon the world.
Well, that was a fascinating look at the brand new C44. Now, to talk to me a little bit more about how the car came to life, please join me in welcoming the Stake F1 Team Technical Director, James Key. James, welcome and congratulations. It's great to see you here since you were at the team last 12 years ago, was it? 12 years ago, wow. Well, how has this fresh new start inspired the direction change in this car?
I mean, there's a lot new this year, this wonderful livery for starters, but on a personal level, it's a fresh start in a sense going back to a place I recognise, many colleagues are recognised, but a much bigger team with a lot of new faces as well. And I think with the opportunity we have with this car, with the team and its aspirations and its positive approach right now in the factory, it feels like a fresh start actually, and we're looking forward to it.
And it sounds like it feels like you're coming home.
Absolutely, and I'm delighted to be there. It's great to be back in Hinwell.
Fantastic. Well, the C44 apparently is not just a car, but it's also a symbol of the shared determination and a constant pursuit for greatness in the team. So how has this car been a marked change from its predecessor?
I mean, the car is very different to last year. I think if you look at a picture of the two overlaid, and maybe, sort of in a few weeks' time we'll be able to do that once we're running, it's a very, very different car. Externally, you can see the aerodynamics is more refined. It's more aggressive. There are mechanical changes under the skin as well as visible. There are many conceptual changes which aren't so obvious. So I think when you compare the two, you can see this is actually a very different car, not just an evolution of what we did last year.
Okay, well, the beast has been unleashed, but I think we shouldn't be scared of it. Let's get a little bit closer and take a look at this car up close. Now, James, I'd love you to take me through some of the specific changes of this car from both an aerodynamic and mechanical perspective.
Okay, so fundamentally the aerodynamic concept is very different, really, in many respects. Again, you can see the aggressive approach we've taken compared to last year. We'll run through this in a bit more detail in a second, but basically the whole thing has been a great teamwork effort on the basis that we've done a huge amount of packaging work, a lot of mechanical work to allow us to be more aggressive and future-proof for future developments as well. So I think if you took the hood off, you'd see a wonderfully packaged car that's allow us to be aggressive with the bodywork, and it's the same at the front with aspects of the front suspension.
Now, something that is visible over here, I mean, I'm no engineer, but what I can see is definitely taken a new direction, is the front suspension. Talk me through it.
Okay, so the front suspension is very new. Mechanically, it's a compromise. You never design this if you are a front suspension designer just designing a suspension for its own right. But we've gone for this suspension leg here. I think you can see it on the screen as well.
Yes.
That's a pull rod, and that's the way you actuate the springs and the dampers and the other mechanisms inside the tub here in front of us. That way of doing things is not nice mechanically. So you typically have a push rod which goes in the opposite direction and connects at the top of the chassis. So why have we done it? We've done it because it's better for aerodynamics. And it basically shows more than ever, really, with these current generation of cars that suspension geometry is very much an aerodynamic device, as well as something which just holds the wheels on and connects you to the springs and dampers. So that was a tough mechanical project, and I have to hand it to the team. That all happened before I arrived. I have to hand it to the team. They've done a fantastic job, because that's not an easy thing to do, and we've achieved it for this car.
Well, by the sound level in this room, it sounds like the car's definitely got the audience talking. Not sure what they're talking about, but I hope it's about this car.
So do I.
Well, one thing that definitely had Formula One audiences talking back when this regulation was introduced was bodywork, right? A lot of debate. We saw some pods, we saw no pods. We didn't know what was going on. Talk to me about the thinking behind the bodywork here.
Okay, so this is a floor and a bodywork formula. So it's a ground effect car. So you generate a lot of your downforce from the floor, of course. But believe it or not, even though it doesn't look like it, the bodywork interacts very strongly with the floor. So what we saw is that in 22, when these kind of style of cars first came out, we saw a diverse array of bodywork ideas, trying to exploit that as much as possible. It's began to boil down to something, I think, a little bit more, let's say, commonplace across the grid. We saw themes developing last year. And our bodywork, if we look at the side pods here, for example, is following that theme, but in a much more aggressive way than we were last year. It's much more 3D. It interacts with the floor in a different way. Great teamwork to get the packaging required to allow us to find all these volumes that we can exploit. And in fact, by the first race, we're going to see different shapes in this area. It's an area which is developing quickly, so it will be along these lines, but already it will have changed by even the first race.
Very interesting. Well, I'm going to pick you back up on that one in a little second. But firstly, I'd love to talk about what's beneath the skin. I mean, the surface is beautiful. The shapes look different. But what is beneath the surface that we need to know about?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's easy to talk about aerodynamics because we can see it. And, of course, it's a fundamental part of the performance of a car. But a lot of what allows that to happen is what is underneath the bodywork. But, of course, there's mechanical developments as well. So, like I said, if you took the hood off this car, you'd see a gearbox, which is along the lines of what we did last year, with a few tweaks in certain areas to adapt to what the new car needs. Our colleagues at Ferrari providing the engine. But Ford have everything is very, very different. We have a new front suspension, the way in which that works, for example, with our pull rods connecting to it, but the internals, the springs, the dampers, the rockers, all the mechanisms which allow the car to ride and set its ride height and so on. That is a totally different approach, and it looks to be quite a good one from what we can see in our simulation work so far. Like I said, the packaging of this area, which is predominantly electronic systems, engine systems in the side pod, that's really brave to go that small but still have it working, so the numbers stack up. Really, really brave and very intricate work's gone in there. And then as we work towards the back, it's a similar approach with moving things around, redeveloping things to allow us to package the car in such a way. So there will be some mechanical developments in this season as well. But the biggest one, I think, is the fact that the architecture of the car has changed to complement the aero, and the front suspension is very different.
Fantastic. Now, I'm going to pick you back up on what you said earlier. You said that by the first race, this car might already be looking slightly different to what it does today. Development race. We all tune in to watch the race on track, but we know that there is a very important race that happens off the track, and that's the development race. What can we expect this year, quite frankly? We saw some outliers last year making real gains. Tell us what's ahead.
I think there's two paths to that, because we don't often talk about it. We watch races, but we don't talk about what's happening behind the scenes. It's a war with development. It's a brutal, ruthless environment to be in. You're pushing out 24/7 the next steps, the new ideas. It's ongoing. It doesn't stop. And, of course, once you got to the point where you're stopping for the current car, you're already onto next year's car and you're pushing the boundaries even further as best you can. So I suspect this year we'll continue to see a lot of development. The grid began to converge a lot in the second half of the season. It was super close at the end of the year, which means little steps can make a big difference. So it's going to be another aggressive year. It does present opportunities, but that works both ways, of course, so we've got to be a bit careful. And I think for us, we're going into the season with the most aggressive approach we can. So we will have new parts for race one. We'll have more new parts in those first handful of races to try and steal a march on our competitors if we can. But it's going to be a year-long thing. Like last year, it's going to be a real battle for the whole year, I think.
Well, we're absolutely anticipating what's to come. Now, thank you very much, James, for joining me on stage. Everybody, James Key. Good luck this season. Okay, everybody. You guys have kept it quiet all night. Thank you very much for that. Great audience. Hi. Okay, well, let's just give one more shining moment to the gorgeous C44. Just witnessed the first glimpse at the Stake F1 team's new brand in action. Stake has revolutionized the market in gaming, lifestyle, and entertainment, and they have already become a case study for how to activate in Formula One through their exciting partnership with this team. So they've shown you their car, they've told you what they're about, and strap in, everybody, because they are just getting started. Stake F1 team has arrived, and good luck keeping your eyes off of them. Thank you to the Stake F1 team drivers Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu, team representative Alessandro Aluni-Bravi, and technical director James Key. We must also thank the two people responsible for making tonight happen, Stake co-founders Edward Craven and Bijan Tirani. So thank you for this amazing night. And of course, we have to thank you, our wonderful audience tonight, and of course everybody tuning in at home tonight. So, the cage is open. Stake F1 team is now officially unleashed.
Freedom!
The Stake F1. We never wanted the red carpet treatment. We don't mistake the freshly paved asphalt for an easy road. And we know success in this game doesn't happen with the roll of a dice. So now what? 365, dusk till dawn. The wheels never stop turning. Hour after hour. So we can rip away second after second.
We listen to you, now be so kind as to return the favour.
We're coming from a seat at the table. We're here to stake our claim.